Have you ever wondered what happens when people in power think they're untouchable? In these three real stories, ordinary people were brutalized, humiliated, and silenced by the police. But they fought back, and what they did next will restore your faith in karma and remind you that when the truth speaks, it echoes louder than fear. Stick around till the end, because the last story proves that no one is above the truth, and every voice counts. Story 1. The Innocent Teen and His Father's Revenge. Jamal Carter was a 17-year-old track star with dreams bigger than his small city. He'd wake up at dawn to run before school, shoes slapping the cracked sidewalks while the city still slept. His father, David, had raised him alone, a retired detective who'd given everything to keep Jamal off the streets that had swallowed so many kids before him. One night after practice, Jamal and his friends stopped at a tiny burger joint. Greasy neon lights, tired laughter, cheap fries. They laughed about scholarships and girls, futures they still believed in. But they didn't see the patrol car idling across the street. They didn't see the way two bored officers looked for someone to blame for their long shift. Hands where we can see them. The voice sliced through the night air. Jamal raised his hands, palms up, voice calm. "Officer, we just finished practice." It didn't matter. To them, he was another kid with a hoodie and a dream they didn't care about. A shove, a punch, the wet smack of fists on skin. His friends screamed, but no one stopped it. One tried to record, but was slammed face first into the squad car. David got the call at 2 a.m. The smell of antiseptic, machines beeping, Jamal's face swollen beyond recognition. No father should have to see his child like that. He begged the chief for answers. "Your boy resisted," they said. Case closed. But David wasn't just a father. He'd once cleaned the same system, now protecting monsters. He knocked on old doors, called in favors, bribed a vendor whose camera caught a shaky video. Jamal with his hands up. The baton, the boot. The video exploded online. People gathered with candles and signs that read, "Justice for Jamal." The city that always turned its back finally opened its eyes. At the trial, David stood strong, voice cracking but steady. He looked the officers in the eyes as the guilty verdict dropped like a stone. Months later, Jamal woke up, slower than before, weaker but alive. David used every penny from the settlement to build a foundation that trains parents to fight for their kids when no one else will. Never underestimate a father's fight for his child. If you believe Jamal's father was right to stand up, comment "justice" below. Smash that like and subscribe. Your support helps stories like this be heard. Story 2. The Pregnant Mom and the Judge. Angela Perez wasn't anyone special. Not to the people who thought power made them kings. 8 months pregnant, 2 jobs, one small car that got her home when her feet ached and her baby kicked her ribs for room. One rainy night, headlights flashed behind her. A siren's whoop, red and blue lights reflecting on slick asphalt. A single mom alone on a lonely road. Step out of the car. She swallowed the fear. "Officer, please, I'm pregnant. I didn't do anything wrong." He leaned in close, breath heavy with coffee and arrogance. "That's not up to you to decide." They pulled her coat open, mocking her cheap dress. Another cruiser pulled up, laughter echoing as they made her stand shivering in the cold. In the cell, concrete walls, fluorescent light humming like a mosquito she couldn't swat. She wrapped her arms around her belly and whispered, "Stay strong, baby. Mama's got you." Her mugshot ended up online before sunrise. Her boss didn't ask questions, just told her not to come back. By the time she stood in court, Angela was empty, tired, done fighting. But Judge Daniels had spent years breaking down boys who grew into bullies with badges. She read the arrest report, her eyes sharp behind gold-rimmed glasses. She replayed the dash cam, the smirk, the shove, the mocking voices. In that silent courtroom, the judge's voice boomed. "You are an embarrassment to the badge you wear." The charges vanished like smoke. She ordered the department to pay damages that changed Angela's life and forced the officers to stand in front of a press conference and apologize. Angela used that money not for revenge, but for hope, a home for her baby, night classes, and a small donation to help other single mothers trapped by the same cruelty. Never forget, sometimes all it takes is one good judge to turn fear into freedom. If you believe that one voice can make a difference, comment "Truth Wins" below. Share this story and remind the world that no injustice lasts forever. Story 3. The Ex-Cop's Daughter. Samantha Rhodes learned early that her father's legacy was a sword and a shield. She never flaunted his name. She poured coffee, scrubbed counters, saved every penny for community college. One night, after a 12-hour shift, she stopped for gas. Two local officers, drunk on power, smelled opportunity. "Nice car for a waitress," one sneered. "Step out, sweetheart, or we'll do this the hard way." They pushed her down, made her kneel on dirty concrete while strangers stared and whispered. No charges, no reason, just a reminder of who owned the night. When she stumbled home, knees raw, tears mixing with makeup, her father waited at the door. Chief Robert Rhodes, retired but never silent. He didn't yell. He didn't storm down to the station. He pulled out old notebooks, flipped through contacts, made calls deep into the night. By morning, the old man's face was on the local news. A single quote ringing in every ear. "The uniform is not a license to abuse the people it's sworn to protect." Body cam leaks. Witnesses lined up. The department, once proud, now a snake pit eating its own tail. The chief resigned in disgrace. The two bullies were fired and charged. Samantha didn't keep her payout for herself. She built a fund to pay for legal help for other women dragged off into the night by monsters in uniform. They thought they could break her. They forgot who raised her. If you believe her father did the right thing, comment "Stand Strong" below. Subscribe for more stories that prove the truth always finds its way out. Power may corrupt, but no badge, uniform, or title can bury the truth forever. Which story broke your heart the most? Who would you fight for? Tell us in the comments. Your voice helps keep these stories alive when the world wants them forgotten. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. Your support helps shine a light on injustice that must be exposed.